What is up, loyal lads and ladies? My name is Midnight Wolf, and welcome to Star Citizen 3.23 Live. That's right, you guys. It is finally here. The patch we have been waiting a very long time for. And I'm very excited to really dive in and see all the new changes that have come to the persistent universe. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. Thing is, so couple things to keep in mind throughout this stream. The first part of this stream is going to be a comparison stream, and so it's going to be kind of like a weird hybrid for the live stream aspect as well as a pre-recorded aspect, like if that makes sense. So basically what I'm going to do is start each segment of this stream with a clip from 3.22, and then it will be followed by the 3.23 live version of that, and it'll be my very first experience of it. Now there are certain features that I don't have pre-recorded clips for that are in this new one, and there's also other features that I did have a pre-recording of that I won't be able to utilize because of them getting pushed off into a future build. But the clips that I do have, they're on average probably about anywhere from 3 minutes to 5 minutes long, so they're not too terribly long. So anytime those are up on the screen, you should see this indicator at the bottom of the screen, just to illustrate that, hey, we are in a pre-recorded version of the stream. But if I don't have that, if I have it hidden, then we are in a regular version of the stream. So, there we go. So anyways, as I was saying, I hope you guys enjoy this interesting comparison. I am really excited to see what 3.23 has to offer, and I know you guys are probably chomping at the bits for me to get started with this. So yeah, without further ado, so the very first thing, the very first comparison that we're going to be taking a look at is the character customizer. So let me go ahead and get that ready to go, that clip, and we'll just go ahead and get started. So here is the old character customizer, and we'll just see what happens if I click. There we go.
What is up, YouTube? This is an older Midnight Wolf clip comparing Star Citizen's 3.23 new character customization tools from the old ones. So first you will see how simple the customization tools used to be. Very basic and, dare I say, a bit bland. Here you could choose which gender you would like to be. I'm going to go ahead and click the male character. The game then prompts you to choose a starting model to begin the customization process. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and choose, let's start with this guy. Once you select your base, you can then begin the blending process. Blending is the old version's only method for customization. Blending is the old version's only method for customizing different parts of your character's face, where you take each face feature from one model and blend it into the other model. For example, this model has a style of nose that I like, so I'm going to apply it to the blend, For example, this model has a style of nose that I like, so I'm going to apply to, wow, that is hard to say. For example, this model has a style of nose that I like, so I'm going to apply the blend to make my base character's nose look more like the nose I like. So I'll go ahead and click on that, and then just slowly drag this over, and you will see how it blends into my base character. I'm not going to spend too much time showcasing this customization, as the point of this stream is to compare the customizer tools to the new tools. So I will go ahead and go through each character feature, or each face feature, and just quickly see what kind of crazy face concoction we could come up with. So we'll start with the brow, and then I'm just going to quickly just randomly grab a brow from, or a face feature from each different type of model, and see what kind of weird thing we could come up with. So we'll just kind of do that guy. We'll do the eyes. We'll go ahead and change the eye color to green. How about that? And we'll change it to look like this guy's eyes. All right. Ears. I'll just kind of go through, find some interesting ear shapes. There we go. Cheeks. We'll go ahead and take this guy's cheeks. How about that? Nose. I already did nose, but let's add another nose to the blend. See, that's another thing too, is like you can actually blend on top of what you've already blended. So if you want to try to merge two noses together, you can. If you want to try to merge like 3 or 4 different noses together to create the nose shape you want, you could actually do that. Let's take the mouth. I kind of think this mouth is kind of interesting, so we're gonna do that mouth, and we're quickly seeing just how weird this guy's is becoming. Let's do this guy's jaw. There we go. Yeah, and then we'll take the crown of. Let's do this guy's crown. There we go. And then we'll take a hair style. Let's do. All right, that I like it. And we'll change the hair color to redhead. Redhead with green eyes. How about that? Very hideous looking individual that we've just created. But this was basically just a quick showcase of what the old method for character customization tools. You can then hit the review tab and kind of preview what your character is going to look like in the verse. So if you're happy with what you have created, you can then click the accept and hop into your adventure. Now I'm going to go ahead and give the reins back to Midnight Wolf, as he will show you the new customizer tools.
All right, so welcome back to the present. So that was just an old clip of 3.22's character customization tools. Now we will be going and actually doing 3.23. So I am really excited. A quick thing to note that I forgot to mention earlier. Ooh, let's real quick. Let me turn the volume just a little bit down. Oh. You want to exit? No. It's the music that's a little loud. Just turn that down a bit. There we go. Sorry about that. So do you want to exit the game? No, I do not. So real quick, I just wanted to say, I have done everything in my power to only see footage of 3.23 through the things directly from CIG. So Star Citizen Live, Star Citizen, or Inside Star Citizen. Those were fair game for me to watch and digest what the information about 3.23 was going to have. Everything else, all of the posts for the PTU 3.23, I have kept my eyes away from. So I wanted to be able to do that, so that way I could experience this stuff for the first time, actually doing it rather than seeing all this on video. So like the distribution center on the screen right here, I'm excited to see what that looks like and the scale and the size of it. So anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself in that regards because that is definitely way down the list of things that we got to cover. So without further ado, now we're going to finally get to that character customization tool. Biotic. All right. Oh, it's got a nice little jingle here going on. So Bioticorp Calliope Bio Reconstruction version 1.05.03. Select body type. So you can, on this screen, you can click either female or male. So and there's plenty of people out there that do enjoy playing as a female character. I personally love to play as a male character, so that's what I'm going to be doing most of my character customizations based around. So I'll just go ahead and click on him. So in the old system, we had the ability to blend, and so this is I guess the old system here. Basically you could take your primary character and then blend different facial features. And so let's see what kind of creature, what kind of character we could come up with here. And this is looking really nice. So it looks like the blending is very different. I guess you just click on whatever whatever feature you want and it will just do it for you. Let's just grab the chin of this guy and we'll go ahead and blend that into the character. Let's do the eyes. So the reason why I decided to start with this guy, or with the blending, is, you know, this is still like kind of the older way of doing something, or doing this sort of thing. So I wanted to kind of show the old stuff first, get that out of the way, and then we'll get into the really crazy cool stuff here later in just a moment. So let's see here. I like this guy's nose. I think that's a pretty solid nose. But as you can see, it's just a very basic, simple customization. That looks good. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to do with the blending. I'm not going to spend too terribly much time. And even off stream, I might actually put more time into doing a character that I'm going to be spending my time with and actually utilize in the future. But I don't want to bore you guys too much with me like figuring out all of this stuff that you can do with this new screen. So I guess now we'll take a look at the texturing for the skin. So I guess let's first look at the different textures that you can go with. And there's 15. So there's 2. Okay. Interesting. What's up, Pharisis? Okay, and then 15. Okay. I'm thinking 15 is a good candidate, at least in terms of the texture. Let's kind of go back through some of these earlier ones. You know, I like 2. I think that's a good texture. He's got a decent amount of forehead wrinkles, and I don't know. I think it's a good solid texture there. Now I'm kind of a lighter tone with a little bit of warmness. That's 2. That's probably pretty decent. I do have a decent amount of freckles. I'm not really seeing any much change in the freckles. Oh, there they are. But I don't have, in terms of like structured facial structure or freckles, I don't have that many. They're more of like isolated freckles. But I think that's probably good. Sunspots. Let's see what those look like. So, oh wow. I don't have a whole lot of sunspots or spots, if any. I think that's pretty decent. This is another nice new feature is the ability to change the eyes to very specific colors. I love that. Like you can go really nice brown, golden brownish colored to hazily blue. I would say mine's a little darker. That's probably pretty good. Okay. Now, I guess the next thing, well, let me go ahead and take the beard off for now. That's another new thing that I'm really excited to see is beards. I will probably reuse this beard, but because I do have a beard, but I'm going to take the beard off for now so I can actually see the sculpting parts, and I'll even take the hair off too, just so we can really get a good idea of what this guy is looking at. So this is going to be the cool part of this, is I can actually take, like, say the ear and kind of drag it down, and it actually reshapes the ear to what I would prefer. That's really cool. I have kind of a lower earlobe. It's not quite the shape. It's probably decent. They need to definitely add more earlobe options here. I've noticed that not very many of them dip down, and so that would be nice to have that ability. But all in all, I think it's still really cool. Let's see. I don't have like a chiseled chin, but I got decent chin there. I think that looks really good. A little too much. That looks pretty good. Okay. My eyes are kind of far-ish back. I'll definitely put a lot more time into it later on. Yeah, that's pretty decent character. I'm not gonna spend way too much time on this. So, next we'll look at hairstyles. See if there's any new ones. I can't remember if they said that new hairstyles were gonna be added, but I can already see the new coloring features, which is super cool. I was blown away whenever I first saw the color blending. Kind of leaning towards that style, but I want to see my options first. Even that one's pretty decent. That one's probably the closest to my hairstyle so far, at least. Well, even that one. I do like that one too. Kind of torn between this one and this one. They're practically the same style, just one's a little bit more overgrown. Let's do that one. That looks pretty good. Now the main event. Beards. I'm so excited. We finally got beards. I think I know which one I'm gonna go with, but I want to just see what these all look like. Oh, that one's actually pretty close to what I usually look like in terms of beard style. Okay. There you go. That's it. That's the style right there. No, I'm just kidding. My beard's not that long yet. I just look forward to seeing all the players and what kind of crazy hairstyles and beards and colors that they come up with. It's gonna be fun to just run into some interesting characters. All right, I am torn between this one and this one. One seems to be a little bit more cleaned up, but in terms of length, that one's probably a more accurate length. Let's do it. I'm doing this one. And then eyebrows. It's another thing too. I like how right off the get-go the eyebrows are already a different, like a weird color. Purple. The unibrow. That one is close other than the unibrow. I don't really have a unibrow. That one's probably as good as I'm gonna get with my eyebrows for now, but that's pretty close. So I'm gonna take out the dye for now completely and focus on the main color, hair color. All right. So we can go all the way white. What was the other thing? How do I do both facial hair? Uh-oh. What'd I do? Okay, so this one color covers the hair. So my hair is definitely dark. with a little bit of reddish tint to it. What's the variation? Is that like grays? Don't really know what that does. Oh, nice bluish color. I gotta see what this looks like. Some green. Oh, that's cool looking. So that's that way. That's how you can just frost the tips. Green's my favorite color, so that's naturally like the first dye color that I go for. But for now, I'm not gonna really do a dye. You know what? Why not? I can always change this later. I'll do the green dye. Just be kind of weird, a weird color. All right. And apply from hair. I'm not seeing much dye in the beard. Maybe this beard isn't compatible. Oh, there we go. Okay. Not too shabby. And then I guess now we want to do the same to our eyebrows. Nice green hair there. Why so serious? No, that looks good. I like it. That's really cool. I look forward to spending a lot more time on it, but we're already going pretty far into this. So I definitely think that that is a good place to end that part. And I'm not going to spend any much time on makeup because my character's not going to have makeup, but it is an option here. Do some little shadows here and there. Ooh. But I mean, it's cool that these are available. Oh, there you go. That's it. That's the look. Oh my goodness. Cheeks. I'm just curious. So you can you could probably make like an alien-ish character if you just like completely paint the face. I'm just curious if you just kind of go crazy with it. That's kind of glossiness. I do think that instead of them calling it smoothness, they probably should call it gloss. But it's interesting. Oh, and that's the other. Oh, wow. So you have multiple points that you can move. So if I wanted blue with green. Oh, then there's the fade. That's it. That's the look. Oh man, beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely breathtaking. That's awesome. For now, we're gonna be basic. We're gonna be basic, but that's pretty good. I like it. I think that's a really solid customization. And now, here's the best, probably the best part of this entire customizer compared to the former one. So now, I can actually save it. So I'm just gonna do for now, but since it's not gonna be my main character, he's gonna be midnight test. And save. All right, so I'm assuming it kind of works similar to how control schemes are saved in Star Citizen. So I would imagine that it is it saves it into a file or a folder, and if you want it to persist from patch to patch, probably the only way to guarantee that you don't lose the character is you probably have to go into that file, take a copy of it, and it will take the copy of the recipe that makes the character, and then saves it in a place that's outside of the Star Citizen folder, and then you will be able to basically copy it and then paste it back into the Star Citizen folder when a wipe does in fact happen. So all in all, I really like this character customization tool. I think it's very, very powerful. Are there things that they could add to it and make it even more powerful? Absolutely. Obviously more character option or customization options, like more beards, more hairstyles. Those will all come, but it already out of the gate has a lot of great features. So I'm very pleased with it. I think they did an outstanding job with it, and I do love that they incorporated some lore with it too. Like, hey, this is Bioticorp that you're creating your character from. So facial recognition not active. What does that have to do? What? Can you take a picture of your face? What does that mean? I'll have to look at that and play around with that later. I'm curious what that even means. But anyways, that's the customizer. So we'll accept it. And I don't really need the tutorial, or at least I shouldn't need it, but that's another thing too. I am going to be playing mouse and keyboard for this play session, so there might be some control schemes that has changed that I'm going to have to take a look at and review, because I am going to be using default control schemes and mouse and keyboard. I'm not even going to use my host house controls. That's going to take some time to all set up, especially with all the new changes. So anyways, without further ado, let's just go ahead and hop right into the verse. So I'm going to go ahead and select the Stanton system. And another thing to keep in mind, this is like the replication is supposedly active now. So when we hop into a server, if the server does in fact crash, we should be able to hop back into a new server all seamlessly. So, and we'll see how long that takes if that does happen. So I'm gonna click, I mean, I gotta go with New Babbage. Like, that is like my go-to all the time. So I usually like to click USA just to guarantee that I get a server that makes the most sense for my location. And yeah, let's just hop right on in. All right, while that's loading in, I'm going to double check, make sure. So the next thing that we will cover is the personal interactions system. So whenever that boots up, I will showcase what that entails. In fact, I might just go ahead and start playing that now, because as soon as we wake up, I'll be interacting with stuff. So it may be a good thing to just go ahead and play that while we're loading in, and then I will see you guys on the other side of this clip. So once again, this is another clip that I pre-recorded, and that will be coming on the screen in 3, 2, 1.
What is up, YouTube? Old Midnight Wolf here, going to take a look at what the old personal interaction system used to look like versus what the new one is going to look like. So, if you are still with me, you will see that I'm already in a tab here. And there are various things that we can see already that we can kind of interact with. There's a bottle in that crate there. There's a bottle on the floor. Where there's whatever, that jar of olives, I think, maybe. Different things like that you can interact with. And as of right now, the only thing that you can interact, or like only way that you can interact with these items is if you hold F. And that will bring up a list of things that you can do with these items. So you could see that if I want to carry these olives, I don't really know if this is olives, but I'm just going to say it is. Then I could press the carry button and that will pick it up. And now I have it in my hand and I can look down at it and see that I'm carrying it around. But let's say I don't want any more, then I could hold F again, and now I have another object that I can, or a new list of things that I could interact with. So let's go ahead and place it back where we got it. And then I'm going to go ahead and click the inspect key this time. And you'll see that we immediately bring it up, and now we can kind of rotate it, look at it much closer, which is kind of hilarious that I've done so, and it got blurrier, if that's even a word. But yeah, you can kind of look at it from different angles. So that's what the inspect key does. But let's say we're done with it. Let's go ahead and let's just drop it this time. And it just drops it on the ground, and a little laggy there, but it did the job. So now it is on the ground. But, you know, I don't really want to clutter this, so let's just go ahead and quickly carry it, and I'm going to place it back on the where I got it. And looks like that one's glitched out, maybe. Oh. Maybe if I crouch down. Nope. That one won't let me. I know this one will, which, yeah, we'll just go ahead and carry it real quick. And place it on here, but you can kind of tell how kind of clunky it is. It's really not very intuitive. You have to like literally stop in your tracks, get your cursor out, make sure you select the right thing, and then you have to then look down and then select another list of objects and then place them. Very, very, very clunky feeling. It looks like all the water bottles are a little bugged, but I don't know. We're just kind of cleaning up a little bit and showing off the interaction system. This was actually a really good hab to get for this little tutorial. This is the very first one that I logged into, so that's hilarious that we were able to have a lot of different things to interact with. So there's that. Then you also have the personal inner thoughts system, which is kind of tied in with that same sort of system. You hold F and then right click, and it brings up this little radial menu, and you have different functions that you could do. I could go prone, I could do emotes, this, that, or the other. I can then press the right mouse click to go back. Item actions, looks like there's nothing in the item actions wheel, probably because we don't have any items in our hands right at the moment. Weapon selection, if I had weapons, or if I wanted to bring up my Moby Glass, I could do turn on my Moby Glass or go to the map, which we'll do the map later on. Comlink app, you know, whatever. Let's just do Moby Glass, and that brings up the Moby Glass real quick. So we're not really showcasing the Moby Glass in this one, so I'll go ahead and close that out. And that is pretty much the gist of the old personal inner thoughts or interactions systems. I think I've covered the gist of it, but yeah, I think that's it. At least for now. So that's kind of the old system, and I'm gonna bring it back to live Midnight Wolf to kind of cover what is changed and what is brand new. So see y'all in the future. All right, we are back live, and now we get to see how we interact with the world. This is going to be something that'll be fascinating. Now, I do notice that there is some new HUD elements on the screen. I tried to remove those by taking my helmet off before coming back live, but I guess taking your helmet off doesn't affect those certain HUD elements. We will get to that HUD element later on, as it is exciting and brand new, and I can't wait to talk about it, and it's going to be really cool when we get to that segment of the whole experience. But we got to get through the interactions first, which whenever I did hop in and take my helmet off and stuff like that, it was kind of interesting how the interaction system was behaving. So I don't know what all that or how to affect it, but right now, as you can see, if I look down on the screen, you can see the little get up prompt. So if we tap F, our character should get up. Yep, there we go. And if we look back at the bed, it definitely gives me the option to be able to tap F again to sit down. I'm not going to do that. Now, the thing that I'm not 100% certain about is how do you change your interaction system. So let me see if I can find a keybind for that. Let's see. On foot, what is the interaction? So quick interact and interaction mode. And it's purple. What is the purple modifier? Purple just means the interaction mode. So how do I know there is a menu. PIT menu. Let's see what tab does. Okay, so C is crouch, X is change your camera perspective. Okay. Thanks. Oh, there we go. Now we're in prone. Only thing is I don't know how to bring up the little wheel. So apparently there is a wheel that you can bring up that allows you to customize your interactions on the fly, and I'm not seeing that, so maybe I should have done the tutorial and maybe it would have gone over some of these changes. So prone is control. I mean, I could try using the modifier keys and seeing if that does anything. Oh, here we go. So Alt F brings up this wheel. Interesting. So I can do personal inventory, I can do actions. Okay. So if I do that, okay, so that we're making progress. We'll cover the Moby glass here in just a little bit too, but
I'm not sure. Maybe try Control F? No. Right F? Tab F? Hold right mouse button and then F. Okay. So I'm doing that. Right mouse button, hold F. Maybe it doesn't work for the bed. Maybe it's just broken. So we got another prompt. So this is the thing. This was the concern that some people were having with it, is that like now, like when you just walk past something, you're gonna see a prompt pop up on the screen. So I don't know how I feel about it yet. We'll just kind of see what it's like. But it looks like I can interact with this cup here, this coffee cup. I can carry it by tapping F. Looks like double tapping F. And I can place it by pressing. Interesting. I do like that I can actually place it down now. I don't have to go into a menu to press that. I can just pick it up real quick. That feels nice. And then I can just place it down on onto the cutting board there without having to do that. Now, what about throwing it? Can I just look up and throw it? Yeah. I mean, that works. Now, I'm not an animal here, so I'll just go ahead and press that and place it down where it's supposed to go. Whoop, never mind. Maybe I am an animal. So that's underhanding. I'm wanting to place it. Oh, I guess you tap it to place. Interesting. We can oh, we got something special in there. So if I want that thing on the left, I guess it doesn't let me grab it. Okay. That was pretty smooth, not gonna lie. Oh, what the heck is that? So I can basically double click to place it down. What is this thing? Ah, interesting. We're gonna have like a full-blown meal. Now the question is, if I want to do something with it. Oh, I just stored it. Interesting. So it'll take some getting used to, for sure. But I can place that there. But if I wanted to do other things to it. If I tap F, what does that do? If I hold F, what does that do? Oh, I can right click and it puts it in my inventory. Interesting. Okay. Oh, here we go. I can actually get gear. I guess it's not operational yet. So right now everything, all the interactions are set up for double tapping. I think it's because I have it set up for double tap. Let me see if I can change that towards just a single tap. I think there is a double tap. I could be wrong. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I do have it set up for double tapping. And I thought there was a way you could make it to where it's a single push. Maybe it's under my keybinds. What would that be? That would be quick keys and interactions. Okay, yeah. I have it set up for double tap, but I'm gonna... Oops. Needs to be F. And it'll just be that. That could be throwing things off in regards to the other features. Okay, there we go. That was why it was messing up, because I had it set up for double tap. So, if you hold F, now it brings up this menu here. Now, let me see if there's a way... How do you make it your default? That'll be the interesting... It's the learning experience. Okay. Question is, how do you customize it? That's not what I wanted. And I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. Oh. Interesting. So if I wanted to inspect it, I can just do that. If I wanted to carry it, I can do that. If I wanted to place it, I can do that. Ketchup. But how do I set it up as a default? Okay, so that's how you do that. But if I wanted to set it up to where that's my new favorite. Oh, you middle mouse. Okay. So if I wanted to set that as my primary, now if I wanted to pick that type of object up, I can click F now, and it now sets it as my primary action. That's cool. Now if I double tap, what does that do? Nothing. So I can set this as my primary. If I carry it, then I can middle mouse, set this as my secondary. And I think now, oops, man, that's gonna be, I'm so like used to the old way of doing things. So there's a little bit of a visual bug with the placement there, because it gave me the little echo for the ketchup bottle on the coffee cup, and then it gave me the coffee cup model for the ketchup bottle. So that's an interesting ordeal. So if I double tap F, that brings up the inspect. Okay, so that's how that works. And if I wanted to alter, okay, so that doesn't have customizable mechanics yet. So if I double tap, I will pick up the coffee cup. Right. If I double tap, it should inspect. There we go. And then if I just single tap, it just picks it up and I can walk around like normal. Cool. So that's a good thing to know. That's really cool. I could pick this thing up. Man, I did not realize I was gonna spend this much time on just the interaction system, but this this is like a night and day different experience for sure. Now this is not giving me the ability to place down. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. All right. I did not expect that to take that long to I mean, we're just now in the apartments, and we still got so many more things to do. That, I mean, honestly, like, that is really cool. It's very intuitive, very easy to use once I get the hang of it, once I get used to it, because it's a big change. You know, a big change from what we're used to. And I like it so far. So far that feels nice. Doesn't seem like I have the option to be able to... Oh, yeah, you can actually. You just have to use the old interaction mode to access that, I guess. And that affects the lights. Okay. So if I want to just open the door, I can open the door. How do I close the door? I guess it closes automatically. If I hold F, does it give me more options? No, it just goes to the old system. Oh, looks like they added a drop shadow too to the Armistice Zone. Cool. I'm also so another change that they've added to the game is the rendering modes that you can do. So I'm using DLSS, so apparently like that's a better performance friendly rendering format. And so I'm so far, like, my frames here at New Babbage have been pretty decent. There's a few stutters here and there, but like this is probably the smoothest I've been able to play Star Citizen, which is very nice to say. I can press F to call elevator. I don't have to hold the interaction mode. Like, that's nice. Let me hold the elevator for you. Oh, doors. There you go. All right, let's just go to the lobby. So I can invite to party. Let's see, what else can you do? Send friend request. Okay, cool. So here's where the new inventory system is gonna be. So like, we saw this terminal in the old, or in the apartment. So now, like, we can see, like, oh, if I forgot something in the apartment, I don't have to go all the way back on the elevator to get my gear. So like, it'll be right here. And that's where the old inventory system comes into play right now. Right now I have access to all this, but in the future I won't be able to do that. I will have to go to this kiosk to be able to do that. So looks like that won't be in this build, but I think it'll probably be in one of the point patches for 3.23, and we'll see what that all entails. Okay, let me see what the next thing. I think it's the HUD. It's the next thing that I have geared up in terms of old clips. Yes, so I'm gonna play the old clip from 3.22 in regards to HUD. Now, a quick discrepancy or disclaimer, I should say. There is a part of it that I kind of waste a lot of time in trying to get a certain HUD element to pop up, namely the your stamina. So like how much oxygen do I have left basically from running around, or the heart rate, and I couldn't get it to pop up. So that part of this clip is going to be a little bit lengthy, unfortunately. So I do apologize. I should have cut it out, but I just didn't. So I do apologize for that. So but here we're going to go ahead and play that old clip, and let me get it ready for it. And then we'll talk about some HUD stuff, which is going to be great because that, you know, we already see some new HUD elements on the screen as we speak, but we'll get to that here in just a little bit. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you on the other side of this clip.
What is up, YouTube? Old Midnight Wolf here, doing another comparison clip. In this clip, I'm going to be showcasing the new HUD systems. So I'm going to be putting on a helmet here soon to show off what the old HUD used to look like. And then later on, I will go to the live stream and show off what the new clip or the new HUD looks like. So hopefully I could get or run around a bit to show off some more HUD elements, but first let's go ahead and just put on a helmet just to see what happens. So I've got that, and right off the get-go we've got our journal entry popping up. That's what it used to look like, at least. We've got some information in the lower right hand corner of our HUD where it displays information like it's like what weapon we have and also ammo and that sort of thing. But right now, since we're in a armistice zone, none of that information pops up. So hopefully I can get my character kind of fatigued a bit, and we'll see if we can bring up some more HUD elements shortly by running around for a good amount of time. I tried doing this earlier, so this is like take 2 of this clip, and my heart rate wasn't going up high enough to show another HUD element, and I'm wondering if it's because I wasn't wearing any armor. So we'll see if I could get that up to reveal some more of what the HUD looks like in the lower left hand corner of the screen. So far, nothing. Maybe I should have worn heavy armor. This is weird. Usually if I'm running around, my heart rate is through the roof all the time. But now when I'm wanting to show it, it doesn't want to raise. That's so weird. I'm gonna check the Moby Glass real quick to see. And my heart rate's still at 60. That is so weird. Any other time I play this game, my heart rate goes through the roof when I'm running around. But when I want to actually show stuff, it doesn't want to show it. That is so weird. Anything? Nope, still at 60. Wow, that is so weird. I have been running around, and in most situations, my heart rate would go off the charts, and it would be displayed in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. But for some reason, when I'm wanting to actually show more HUD elements, it's not wanting to pop up for whatever reason. So bizarre. Now let's kind of, I guess, look at what isn't being displayed right now that is not in the game yet, and that is there's no mini-map. notice that I have this helmet on, and there is no mini map. I don't know if New Babbage will have a mini map right off the get-go. I hope it does, but that'll be something that I'm going to show as soon as I put on a helmet in the live stream. So I hope it will pop up right away and we'll be able to show that off, but that is something that I'm hoping we will see very, very soon. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give live stream Midnight Wolf the reins and see you guys in the future.
All right, thank you, old Midnight Wolf. I think I'm gonna definitely double check this real quick, making sure that my stream is doing well. I'm getting a warning message, so I do apologize for this if we're getting experiencing any stutters or anything like that. We'll see if it kind of fixes itself. I'm just making sure that there is a delay, but I'm gonna make sure that my stream is doing okay, at least on the actual stream itself. Okay, I think we're good. And so, all right, yeah, so once again, thank you, past Midnight Wolf, for enlightening us with some awesome 322 content. But now we're out with the old and in with the new, and we're here in the present. So now we're gonna take a look at the interaction, or the HUD system actually, rather. So as you can tell, there's a lot of changes already on screen right now as we speak, and namely the map, the mini map. We finally have a mini map. A functioning mini map is actually in the game, and you probably have already been seeing it as I've been walking around up to this point, but it is finally here. We have a mini map. It'll be so useful. I can't wait to do more with the maps, and that will come later on in the stream, relatively soon actually. But yeah, I mean, it gives you some very interesting information. Like, for example, if you have a fine, I can already see right now on my mini map where I go to pay for my fine, and it's right behind me. And like that is useful information about this place. And from what I understand, there will be certain locations that you won't have access to that particular map. I don't know if that's in 3.23 just yet, but there are going to be certain locations that you don't have access to the mini map for that location. And then whenever you get it downloaded, then it will update to your mobiGlass, and then it will add that particular location to your mini map. So right now it looks like by default the landing zones you automatically get the mini map, but in the future I'm not sure where that will be limited. They may make it to where it's only your home location, and you have to then like download all of the other maps. Could be something to that effect. I'm not sure, but very cool, very interesting. We have the Armistice Zone, looks different. There's kind of like a drop shadow kind of effect to it now, and it's a lot darker, so a lot more obvious. Let's see, if we bring up chat looks, it's like a different shade of color, and it looks like they added maybe a little bit of a shadow to it, but it's still sometimes hard to read with certain backdrops. But it's I think a lot better, mainly if you like have the text over other text. It looks like it's pretty, or it kind of it's hard to read sometimes, but that's just kind of the nature of text over text, and I don't know that if there's really any changes that we can do to that. But kind of another thing that falls within the HUD category within this whole showcase is actually shops. So there's a new HUD within the shops even. So I'm gonna, while we're over here, go ahead and take a look at how we can actually interact with these and new HUD elements pop up on the screen. So right here, if we wanted to buy this t-shirt, for example, and represent Microtech, I can hold F and it will purchase the shirt for, looks like 540 AUEC. I'm not going to do that because I don't really need a t-shirt. But let's say we wanted to go up to any one of these
Welcome back.
items here. The apple. You know, I can buy an apple from here. And I have all of the information that I need about that particular object right there on the screen, ready to go. So very nice quality of life improvement. It looks clean, looks good, and very readable, and looks like it for the most part knows what I'm trying to look at. There might be some fruits that it's not picking up that I'm trying to look at, but it may just be that they're not interactable yet. That could be a factor. But looks like for the most part everything is interacting well. So this is kind of another like extension of the interaction system, but at the same time showing off the new HUD as well. So very cool, very awesome. I'm gonna buy a couple of these.
Good purchase.
So it looks like I just hold F. Very nice. I like the sound effects. Very cool, very cool. We're probably gonna need a multi-tool, so I'm just gonna go ahead and purchase that. I think I probably already have them because there wasn't a total wipe, but might as well get an extra one just in case. Mining attachments. Let's get a med pen. I mean, this is cool. This is really cool. Very easy and quick to use. I want this pistol. I can just hold F and now I have that pistol. That is really neat. And then if I wanted to buy from an actual like terminal to get have more flexibility over like quantity items, like if I wanted to buy a bunch of med pens, I could buy a bunch of those. So let's go ahead and while we're here, just go ahead and buy a bunch because we're gonna definitely get into some shenanigans later on. I do have to take my AUEC into consideration because that did reset. And correct me if I'm wrong, it's actually saying UEC. Didn't this used to say AUEC? Are they officially changing the name to the actual name of the currency? I could be wrong, but that's interesting. I just now noticed that. And I'll probably buy a good chunk of these as well. All right, cool. So there is a little bit of the HUD system, but I'm gonna see what happens if I equip certain helmets, namely ones that are probably geared more towards combat, and see what happens. I don't think anything will happen just yet. There might be some useful information that pops up, but there's a certain new HUD element that won't probably pop up until we leave the Armistice Zone, so that'll definitely come later on when we get to that point. But let's go ahead and, with the old inventory system, let's go ahead and equip us some outfits. And I can already see a major difference in the inventory screen. Like, there's less artifacting. Usually, like, when this would pop up, these would like pop up in like small weird like shaped icons, and then they would like eventually blow up to the right size. But it looks like they're actually coming in the right item, which is nice. That's really neat. That's, you know, a bug that is actually apparently fixed, a visual bug. So that's nice to see. Let's see. I'll just equip this one. This one's a good outfit. I guess I have to take all of that off first. There we go. Okay, so armor. Which helmets do I have access to? So I have access to all my gear, so that's good. I would imagine this one's probably a combat oriented helmet, so I'm gonna go ahead and equip it. Let's just go ahead and get somewhat geared up. Let's see here. Trying to find a good pair of pants. I'm very picky when it comes to my pants. Sure, we'll just do that one for now. All right, and I think, do I have a backpack? That's a heavy backpack. Don't know if I have an actual backpack. So it looks like I might have lost my backpacks, which is fine. I can always get some more later. But I'll go ahead and get a weapon equipped, because we're definitely gonna, there's certain HUD elements that we're definitely gonna want to try out. So we'll go ahead and get that. Okay, so it looks like the things are slowly loading in, which is fine. Not a crazy ordeal. I'll just equip that. And let's do the 54. No, let's do the P4. So we got that. I'll probably need to, I probably should buy ammo too, but I don't think I can get ammo just yet. So I'll probably have to go to Port Tressler first before I can buy ammo. We'll buy it, or let's not buy, but let's put some attachments in our inventory, because that might have some effects that are changed as well. That would be nice improvements, especially with the interaction systems. I'll just get the knife as well for the sake of it. And I'll take 10 of these guys. Oh, I can't. I'll take a couple of these guys. And then med pens. I need med pens. Do that. Actually, let's equip them first. Okay. And I'll split these 4 extras. How about that? The real logos are on the upper left of the map. Okay. And we're done with that. The real logos? Okay, here's a new awesome feature that popped up when I put the helmet on. That compass. That is a brand new compass added to our combat helmets. So that is nice to see. We can now actually like call out directions. If we're like in a combat scenario, we can actually like say, all right, 30 degrees. There's a guy around the corner there. You know, the terrible example, but you get the idea. So yeah, no, I'm excited. Let's kind of just like follow the mini map here where we need to go. So there, I would think that they should maybe add on here like an arrow pointing, oh, this goes to the spaceport. to kind of mirror what is being said here, that would be very useful information. So like maybe like put spaceport and then an arrow this way, and then expo center right here with an arrow pointing that way, just so as soon as the person comes up, if they don't really want to look at the screen, I don't know why they wouldn't look at the screen that's right in front of them, but if they wanted to see that information on the map, they have that information. And honestly too, like, you might would be able to see it when you can't really read anything, especially with people who have lower end computers that may not have the draw distance to be able to read some of that text. They would be able to have some of that information close to their screen to be able to read. So, you know, just a simple thing there.
Now closing.
Missed it by that much. I'm paying attention to the map here. So the trains actually have their own map. That is so cool. Oh, there's even an angle compass thing, like on the left-hand corner of the screen. I just noticed that. So if you're calling out vertically, you could say like 18 degrees vertical, 270 horizontal. There might be some better terminologies you can use with that, but you know, more tactical terminologies. But you get the idea. I just now noticed that. That's really cool. Or like if you're up like on a catwalk or something, looking down over the edge, you could be like, oh, negative 34, and negative 34, 60, and you know, that would be a call out, and you would be able to directly call people out in a specific direction. Very cool. I like that. And remember, like, this is all my initial takes on 3.23, by the way. Like, I have, with the exception of Star Citizen Live or Inside Star Citizens, I have not seen anything 3.23 related. I've tried to do my best to keep myself from watching any YouTube videos, you know, about this, and this is really cool. This is really cool. I'm loving like the changes so far that we've seen, and we're just getting started. The upper icon in the upper right corner should go away soon. Oh, that global mark? Or oh, okay. Let's see. I also haven't really been paying attention to the alerts. I need to definitely pay closer attention to the alerts. Oh, I noticed my map went away. Oh, there it is. It came back. So a little bit of some text errors here, but not too bad. I don't see any more of those inventory. Oh, right there. I was gonna say, like, I was kind of getting nervous that I've reached another area that didn't have these inventory screens, but here they are. Right in front of my face. So another indication of where you can go pay off your fines. Oh, right there. Like, that was nice information. I came up these stairs and immediately I was able to notice on the screen food and drinks. So I can actually like come over here and oh, I can buy food and water. You know, stuff like that. It is very useful, especially for a new player. Very useful. The hangar access, and it could have just been the direction I went. So it would be nice to be able to read the hangar access at least at this point. So like whenever, like, because I noticed the food and drink right away, but it would be nice to know like that the hangar is this way. So, you know, if I'm a new player, I come up these stairs and I would see that. right away and be able to turn that way and go, oh, this is where I get my ship. So the next thing that I did have in to showcase was the hangars, but unfortunately the hangars got pushed back to a point patch, so I won't be able to show off that yet. And so that clip I will hold on to for when the point patch goes live. But I will go ahead and let me see what I do have next after hangars. Looks like FPS improvements. So that's going to involve me actually getting into my ship and then taking off. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And we'll then I'll spool up the FPS improvements, because what I'll do is I'll fly up to space and then get out of the armistice zone, get out of the cockpit, and then we'll kind of look at some of the new things like the new HUD and all this, that, or the other. So let's get that going. It's like, stop talking about it and just do it.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Okay, so I have access to the Hornet Mark II just because of the rental thing. I'm gonna do my actual ship, the one that I've actually pledged for. And Crusader retrieve.
Your vehicle has been
Once again, hangar 4. Oh, that's gonna take some getting used to. I keep double tapping F, because I have it set up to where I double tap on the interaction mode for my controller layout, and that's something that I'm gonna have to spend a lot more time with now. Fine tuning. So this is the hangars. Yeah, as we can see, there's nothing different about the hangars, unfortunately, yet, but that is definitely coming relatively soon. So let's see. I can just tap F and it opens. Man, that is nice. Oh, I just remembered the best part of this. I went from the ground mini map, you know, the New Babbage mini map, and now I'm like seamlessly transitioning to my ship mini map, and it tells me all the different doors that I have access to. Let's go ahead and close the ramp. Looks like I still have to actually hold F to activate the closing button. So these panels you still have to hold F on to interact with, but that's no big deal. And then of course these you have to wait on the doors to open still, which is fine. So now I can press F to open that door. I can't place my armor in there yet. I'm sad. Close it. I guess I still have to hold F to activate that button, but the armor rack in here doesn't even work anyways yet, unfortunately. Armor and weapons, so not a big deal. Alright, so I've come up to the seat. So if I hold F, I can still interact with it like usual, but if I just tap F, now I just get into the seat. Easy as that. There's a lot of F's in this stream already. We're paying a lot of respects. Alright, now I gotta remember how to start this thing with default controls. Alright, there we go.
Crusader Industries, a journey worth taking. Systems on.
Right now we are in SCM mode. We will cover master modes in really soon, actually. But Let's see if I can even get out of here first. Oh. Oh, that was one thing that I totally forgot about, the Mobi-Glass. I will do that whenever we get out of the space station, if I can remember how to do that. I guess I've got to rebind it. What was that under? I can't remember. I can never remember which one is the hail target, or I think it might be flight movement. Let's try that one. Or request takeoff. Okay, request landing left alt in.
You are clear to launch.
There we go. I've been using the controller too much.
Launch complete. Landing gear up.
Whoa. Hey, did they make the doors wider for the C2? Or C1? I think they did. They finally made the doors wider for this ship.
Thank you, and please visit again.
That's like probably the best best change they've made. No, I'm just kidding. So as we can see, the HUD is definitely different. Like the angle of trajectory is different when leaving the atmosphere. The water icon popped up in the lower hand corner of the screen, so that's different. It's not much different, but it is different. It's little, like, I think the teardrops look a little bit bigger. I've also noticed that my map is gone, which is good. Like, obviously, if you're in the cockpit of your spaceship, you don't need to see the map of your spaceship at all times. So that's a good thing that they've done. That's something I've noticed. I think this is a good spot. Now I gotta remember how to get out of this chair. I guess we'll do it that way. All right, cool. Now the map. Whoa, what is all that? That's new. I got my lungs. I don't know what this HPA is. If anybody knows what that means, please let me know, because I have no idea what that indication is for. And it went away. I don't see the map. Is there a toggle for the map? That is definitely some important information to know before we go too far. Mini map. I know there's going to be situations where the mini map is not available, but for like, I would imagine that you would be able to have access to the mini map when you're out in space. But I don't see a mini map toggle. And it may just be a setting that you have to find in the settings and actually map it. Mini map. I don't see one on the mouse either. Okay. That's fine. F2 is the default keybind for the map. Oh, okay. Oh, that's... No, not that map. I'm talking about the mini... Oh, there we go. The mini map popped up. I guess if you open up the star map, then it automatically turns that on. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know anymore. This patch is overwhelming. So many changes. It's not the Star Citizen we once knew, but it is the one that we needed. All right, what were we doing? Oh yeah, FPS changes. So let me see if I can bring up my gun, my weapon. If I even remember how to do that. Keybinds. So it should be 1. I pushed 1. Okay, 4 was med pin. G, okay, that's new. So the right hand corner, so we can actually see how many med pins we have equipped. That's nice. We can see how many grenades we have equipped, and then probably, I would imagine, I think that other one is the gun. So if I push 4, I can holster. How do I get my gun out? It may be a keybind issue. Let me just see that real quick. Select sidearm. Select primary is 1. Interesting. This may not be the default control binds. I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna set... This may like completely screw everything up, but I'm gonna go ahead and just set everything to default, and maybe that'll help some of the issues. Am I still in an armistice? I shouldn't be. Yeah. I should be able to equip my weapons. Is it the server? Well, we'll just equip it this way, I think. Oh, it's not even giving me that option. Interesting. I can throw it on the ground, maybe. Oh, armistice zone. Oh, how interesting. Oh. We will do the Moby Glass here in just a little bit. Oh, that's an interesting visual glitch. Okay. Dang, the armistice zone is far. I think they've extended the armistice zone. Either that or some of my buttons aren't working. Okay. I wasn't gonna do this yet. But I need to get out of the zone. Interesting. We're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here, unfortunately. Oh, you left click. Whoa, what the heck? Okay. Now we're out of the armistice. Okay, so we can fire. Good. So now, let's exit. We'll do all that star map later. We're getting to that point. We have a lot of other business to attend to. All right. So now if I push 1, that brings up my gun. So more to the HUD. We've got our bullet count, which actually shows like a visual, like each individual bullet, which is interesting. We've got no reserves. And that's the, you know what? I didn't get any ammo, so I'm not going to be able to fully show off all of the new FPS improvements just yet, unfortunately. But we will get to that, because like when we get to like distribution centers later on, we're going to be doing some combat, so we'll be able to get some ammo, this, that, or the other, and we'll be able to get set up properly. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up the HUD real quick before we do the old version of the combat stuff. But yeah, okay. I'm refocusing now. Okay. There's so many changes, man. It's a lot to take in. So, all right, we're going to do another clip. This next clip is, of course, from 3.22. It is a kind of a look at the FPS, and yeah, so I'll be talking about various aspects of the FPS. Can't remember exactly what I'll say in this clip, but yeah, it should be interesting to see what it once was to what it is now. So let me get that going for you guys.
What is up? Here is another old clip. I'm going to be showcasing a few more things here in this little tiny clip. I'm going to kind of showcase what the kind of FPS crosshair used to be like, as well as looking at reloading and magazine quote-unquote pooling and the lack thereof. So I'm going to hop into the back of the ship. I am flying somewhere above New Babbage right now, just kind of hovering for now, but we're gonna go ahead and showcase what that would look like. So I'm going to hold, let's see, hold. All right, here we go. So we're gonna bring up gun, and as you can see, another showcase of the HUD system and what it entails. You can see your ammo count. Oh, and you can also see more of the HUD elements there. Now, in this version, or in this helmet, this is just a normal helmet, and this is probably what the crosshair would look like, you know, lack thereof. And if we go ahead and now swap out to a combat helmet, I don't really know what they're going to classify as combat helmet, but we'll just kind of pretend that this is the combat, or a combat helmet. And by equipping that in 3.23, we're going to see a crosshair that follows the gun and where it's aiming. So we'll be able to see what that looks like in just a few moments whenever live Midnight Wolf is showcasing that. I'm going to go ahead and open up the doors so I can actually fire my weapon and not damage the ship. All right, so I'm going to also notice how I have limited ammo. I only have 40 rounds. So if I go ahead and fire all 40 rounds, I am not able to reload. That being said, let's go ahead and put some ammo in my backpack. as you can see, there's no way of reloading my ammo from my backpack directly, I should say. I have to actually go into my inventory, so I have to actually press I. This boots up, and notice how in the middle of the screen where it shows the description of the item that I'm hovering over, and it has 3 slots down there that says empty, empty, empty. So if I double click the button, it doesn't update right away, but you notice this number went down to 29, and now it did update to one of those slots, and I could do that 2 more times, and now I am fully equipped with magazines. So let's go back, and now you can see in my lower right hand corner of the screen here, I have 120 rounds of ammo that I have access to. So if I press R, I am able to reload that, and now I have 40 rounds in my magazine. So that is the old system, but in the new system, we'll be able to reload from this perspective. We don't have to go into the inventory screen and, you know, do that again where I double click that to then add onto the empty slot. I can actually do all of that from this perspective, and it'll be super nice. I think they call it backpack reloading. So there will be an indication to let you know that when you're out of your reserves on, like, from your equipped magazines, and you'll be able to actually reload your reserves from this area. I would imagine probably holding R would do that, or something to that effect, and it will allow you to reload stuff like that. So it's going to be great to do a huge quality of life improvement there, not having to go into the inventory screen to do that. So this is the old system. Another thing, what was I wanting to show? Oh yeah, mag repulling. So I have oh yeah, so let's go ahead and get a partial magazine here, and I'm gonna go ahead and put one of those magazines back up because I don't need it. So I have this magazine partially used, but then let's say I do the reload, and now I have another magazine that's partially used up. All right, let's reload this one. Now I have another magazine that's partially used up. So now I have a bunch of different magazines that are partially used. I've got one that is 18 out of 40. I've got one that's 25 out of 40. And then whatever I have in this magazine, I've got 27 out of 40. So I have 3 magazines that are at different levels of rounds. So let me just kind of get those placed there. So notice how, like, I have 3 magazines that have different ammo counts, and from what I understand, if I combine these, yeah, it doesn't let me combine them anymore. Like, so now I have a bunch of different mags of varying ammo counts that I am not able to merge into one big or, you know, one ammo icon, and, you know, that's going to clutter up my inventory space. Now I'm going to have so many different magazines that are partially full that is kind of annoying. So what mag pulling, or what mag what I think they are calling it mag pulling, does is it will allow me to combine all of those partially empty mags into one magazine, or, you know, it will add to it. So, like, I don't, whatever, 27 plus 25, for example, that would be 52. So that would be above the limit. So it would have one magazine at full 40, and then the other magazine will subtract whatever that amount is. So whatever 40 minus 27, subtract that from 25, and that will get you your second mag, which is partially full. But now I have another 18, and now I could combine 18 with the other mag, if that makes sense. I hope I'm not confusing y'all there. But basically, I'm able to combine magazines, and it enables me to not have this huge amount of magazines that are taking up inventory space. I can literally have those all combined as fine as possible to free up the inventory space, so it's not crazy congested full of ammo. So that is going to be a nice quality of life improvement there that we will no longer have to worry about. But as you can see, I cannot do that right now as we speak, so I have to actually equip those magazines. And there we go. So, oh, it's being funny. All right, I think that worked. Sometimes you have to exit out of the inventory for it to work. All right, yeah, so now we have all 3 inventory slots full of those partial mags, and I'll have to just use them up whenever I can. But that's pretty much some of the new improvements to the FPS type stuff, at least that what they've let us know is coming in the new patch. So I think that covers that, and I think the next thing we'll be covering is actually probably going to be the star map. So that will probably be coming up in the next clip. So stay tuned for that.
All right, thank you, Past Midnight Wolf. All right, we are back live once again. So, that was the old 3.22 way of, combat inventory management. Now, some of that I won't be able to showcase just yet because I did not plan very well and did not bring enough ammo to be able to demonstrate a lot of the ammo type stuff. But there is one major change that I did mention in that video, and that is the dynamic crosshair. So I do have a combat helmet on, or a helmet that is classified as a combat helmet, and so now I have a new crosshair that is on the screen, and notice it's kind of it's not like one-to-one with the direction I'm looking at. That is because it is tied to the barrel of the gun. So wherever the barrel is aiming is where it is where it's affecting. So I can walk around and you see it's all kind of bouncing around because that is where the bullets are actually going to go. And this one was a very controversial one. A lot of people didn't like it. Some people do. Very controversial one, but I am like of the opinion of let's see how it feels. Let's try it out, see what it's like. If we don't like it, then we can tell CIG we don't like it. That's just bottom line. That's just the way it goes. But I think it'll be an interesting improvement. I do like that it is only tied to combat helmets, so it kind of incentivizes certain helmets or certain armor for a specific task. So that is the nice thing about this sort of system is you're not always going to see this crosshair. Like if I took the helmet off, let's actually demonstrate that. Let's take the helmet off. I guess I have to go to an actual inventory closet. Interesting. And I will just store my helmet in the inventory closet. And now, as you can see, there is no longer the compass on the vertical side and the horizontal side. There is no longer the dynamic crosshair in the middle of the screen floating around where my barrel is aiming. So, I mean, that's really cool. I like that. It gives different armor specific purposes, which I like. So that's really cool. And just all around, it'll be an interesting feature. And I look forward to other features coming to combat helmets, such as like night vision, like they've mentioned in recent Inside Star Citizens. So anyways, before I forget to equip my helmet, let's get that back on. Excuse me. All right, so once again, oh, and I noticed that there we go. I had to aim it. I can already see that there's really not a whole lot of changes in regards to, well, I can actually see pretty good down the sight. I think that might actually be a change. Like it's a different perspective. Maybe that is a different. I can't fully remember. I think that's one of the changes that they made, but I'm not 100% certain. I just wanted to kind of shoot this. So it still sounds the same. Okay. I try to reload, but can't, so that's good. Alright, put the gun away. Okay, 3 is my sidearm. V is my knife. Which one is the fire rate? Or oh, fire mode, B. So B is the fire mode. So that's cool. I like that it actually tells you the keybind. Oh, and the crosshair actually changes as a visual. Okay, interesting. So if you change the fire mode, it actually alters the crosshair a bit. Now, I can't remember if they said that the prone changes are in. Oh yeah, I think it is. That looks pretty smooth, a lot smoother than it used to be. Yeah, like I can actually, instead of having to tap the leaning button, I can actually just look behind me and my character will naturally just get into the right position. Used to, you would have to press the leaning buttons. So that is a nice FPS improvement. I don't have to worry about doing all, you know, moving or pushing another button just to do something that I should be able to just easily, you know, with the flick of the wrist, turn around. And so that's cool. I like that. Very smooth. And I think it also, they've improved it to where like you don't get hung up on stuff as easily. Oh, well, maybe you do. I don't know. That's interesting. I like that. I mean, that's just really cool. I mean, it's the little things like that one's a very little minor detail thing, but it is much needed. Like it used to be so clunky to even do what I just did. And so anything that can kind of help smoothen out the experience is always welcome. Smoothen? I don't even know if that's a word. So anyways, so that's some of the FPS improvements. We will revisit some of the new improvements later on whenever we get some more ammo and all that stuff. So don't worry about that. We will definitely go more into depth about those improvements. I'm kind of torn. I do have the order different here, but because we're already out in space right now, I think I might go ahead and move down the star map. I was going to do that one next, but to build up some more anticipation for that, because that's probably arguably one of the better features of this entire patch from a functionality standpoint. But yeah, let's do the EVA. So I can't remember how long this one. It may be one of a more lengthier one. We'll see. I can't remember how lengthy it is. So I'll go ahead and get that spooled up for you guys. And all right, here's old Midnight Wolf.
What is up? Here is another old clip.
Oh,
I'm going to be all right. Thank you, Live Midnight Wolf. So in this clip, I am going to actually show off the new EV.
Let me restart that one. There we go.
All right, thank you, Live Midnight Wolf. So in this clip, I am going to actually show off the new EVA system. Well, actually, really the old EVA system, but the comparison between the two. And you will quickly see. Let's just kind of jump out into this vacuum of space here. You can see that we're in kind of a vertical upright position. And so if we kind of go forward, you notice we're just kind of gliding around. It's not bad. It looks good for what it is, but it could be so much better. It's very basic, and what they've said multiple times is your profile is your collision is a vertical upright position when you're going forward, so it makes it super hard to judge how high your legs are, and it's easy to run into stuff and kind of face plant. Let's see if I can get it to work this time. So if I do that, boom, and I face planted really easily because, you know, I wasn't able to judge getting in here very, very well. So let's do that again in third person. If I can, this is gonna be different. Here we go. This is probably a good angle. So if I go like this, boom. Oh, this is kind of a difficult way of doing it. Oof. Here we go. Yeah, so if I'm trying to get in there, oh, it actually worked that time. Oh, yeah, there. See, we just kind of face planted, and very awkward, and I'm maybe glitched out. All right, there we go. Very difficult system, and very like it's not consistent enough, but it's really difficult to know that you're going to land upright when doing this. It's actually worked a couple times in my favor this time, but oftentimes you enter a ship and you'll just face plant, and sometimes it's not even like obvious. But I seem to have figured out that this ship. But anyways, yeah, so like this is the old EVA system, and also like you notice you're not able to latch on to surfaces. So if I go into third person, you know, I'm not latched on or anything like that. Now they did say that latching may not make it in 3.23, so this may not be something that is different yet, but the idea is you'd be able to latch on to a surface, and in doing so, it will allow you to save on EVA fuel, because if we go to our Moby glass, we are eventually going to have a limited amount of EVA fuel, and so that is going to be crucial to be able to figure out, or, you know, and preserve. Basically, you're going to want to preserve as much EVA fuel as possible. And so, you're going to want to latch onto your ship and only use your fuel when necessary. And so then let's say you launch off and you're going to be stuck in in or going a specific direction in space indefinitely until you use your EVA fuel to then turn you around. And then you'll be able to get back to where it is you're going. But you're going to want to use your EVA fuel sparingly because it probably will be very limited. I would imagine you probably can only change your direction maybe 5 to 10 times if they're going to want to make it very realistic. Because let's face it, these suits do not have a lot of storage capacity to be able to hold a bunch of fuel. So I think that if they limit you to like 5 to 10 uses or 5 to 10 directional changes, I think that would be very great, a great amount. And they may even use less. I don't really know what their plans are with that, but I would imagine it's going to be very limiting. And so you're going to want to be able to only use your EVA fuel when you absolutely have to, like such as, oh, I'm going off into the vacuum of space and no way of going back. But once you head in a direction like this, then you will always be going in that direction. So then you don't have to waste EVA fuel. But that's pretty much the old EVA system. Now onto the new EVA system. Whew, I tell you what, that was a pretty laggy clip there, so I do apologize for that. But yeah, so that was the old EVA system. So yeah, it was all right. It served its purpose, but we're about to find out what we're gonna look like in a Iron Man pose. So this is gonna be fun. This will be interesting, and let's just take the leap. Oh yeah, that was cool. That looks good. I like it. I mean, it's simple, but it looks way better. It looks really cool. Like you're flying around, like like your Superman or your Iron Man. Let's see, how do I free look? There we go. And if you quickly turn around, you actually like do a quick turnaround thing. So that's cool. What does it look like in first person? I like it. This is cool. Whee! Yeah, I'm like able to get really close, and it's not doing anything. Oh, he actually latched on a little bit there. He's not latching on necessarily, but he actually reached his arms out. Okay, that's a nice addition. I wasn't expecting that yet. Any kind of interaction. He's not latching on necessarily, but he actually kind of reacts to objects in front of him. All right, now what does a weapon look like? So now we're flying around in 0 G's, and we got our trusty P4 out. So that's what it looks like when you're just flying around. Whee! Oh, that's a nice angle there. That was cool. I think this looks really good. It makes a lot more sense than the old one. Not gonna lie, it makes way more sense. That's what happens if you get the med pin out in 0 G's. Let's go to our sidearm. Nice. Pop, 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 pop. That looks so good. I love it. I could see the action clips now of people like doing some crazy like action shots. Yeah. And I'm floating, I think, indefinitely in a direction. Yeah.
Like I have my fingers off the controls. That's another thing that I just now noticed. Like it's not changing direction unless I give it the input to change directions. So that's really cool. All right, let's holster our weapon. All right, now for the moment of truth. Do we face plant when we land? And he sticks the landing. Yeah, that looks so good. That, oh, look at the body. That looks so good. I love it. See what it looks like from first person. Oh man, so smooth. Good job, CIG. Man, I am loving this. This is a great patch so far. Oh my goodness. And we're still not even to the good stuff yet. I mean, this is good stuff, but man, like we're not even to like the amazing stuff yet. And I'm having fun just seeing all the new changes. It's so things have been so much more responsive, so like buttery smooth. Like I haven't stuttered as much. I don't know what the stream's been looking like, but things have been very nice and smooth. And I love it. I think this is great. This has been so far been a great patch, very smooth. I have not had any problems. We haven't done anything that's too strenuous yet, mind you, but from what I've seen, things have been like very responsive. Whenever I was interacting with the cups in the apartments, there was some like little hiccups here and there that I noticed, but for the most part, it's been very nice. It's been a cool experience. I love all the new changes, all the new visual changes that I've seen so far, and all of the functional changes. The AVA that I just did right now was amazing. So awesome. But now we get to our first big thing, and I know we're kind of doing bang 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 in terms of those clips, but that like I wanted to get this EVA kind of out of the way since we were already in space, so like that's taken care of. We'll do some. I do want to do an EVA investigation mission, the Covalix one. We might get to that today. We'll see, but that's lower on the priority because I'm gonna definitely go to a distribution center, or at least try to today. But next thing is the awesomest update to this entire thing probably in terms of functionality, and that is the star map. So let me get that next video spooled up for you, and we will get to see all the new fancy changes to the star map. This is what we've been waiting for so long. There are certain features that aren't in it yet, that from what I've been told or from what I've heard, but still there are a lot of great features that it has. So I cannot wait to take a look under the hood with that. So all right, I think we are ready and go past midnight.
All right, so we finally made it to the comparison of probably the biggest comparison clip we have on this entire update. So I'm very excited. This is going to be a huge addition to Star Citizen. But let's kind of take a peek at what it used to be like. So you may be wondering what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the stinking star map, man. Like, that is a huge quality of life improvement that is going to be so amazing when it finally drops in 3.23. So what is the game plan? So let's say right now I'm wanting to go to Hurston, and more specifically I'm wanting to go to Lorville. It's kind of a pain right now trying to go find Lorville on the star map and try to get a course plotted for that. So what all do I need to do? So first off, let's go ahead and go into our star map mobiGlas app. And as you can see, we have a big, map full of different points of interest that we could go to. But if you zoom in on a place, now you can see there's even more points of interest to go to, plus, another, or like more points of interest on the actual planet itself. But then if you click on, like, say, let's do Yela, now there's a whole bunch of more points of interest. And if you're new to Star Citizen, it's very difficult to, know where you need to go and what are the different points of interest that are available to you. So right now, like, you have to click like 4 or 5 different times just to get to this information about Yela. And it's very tedious, and sometimes it's over cluttered. Sometimes you can't really read everything because you have different things behind other things, and it's just really difficult to hear. It's really difficult to see where it is that you're needing to go. But I'm not really wanting to come to Yela, so obviously if I don't know where I'm going, this could get tedious. I would have to do that for every single area to find where it is that I'm trying to go to. Plus, you could see there's already a big major bug with this current star map where one of the major planets is missing. So what's up with that? I have to actually zoom in for one of those planets to pop up for some reason. And this is the planet that I'm wanting to go to. So let's double click on there, and now we could see, oh, now we're onto something. Now, we could now see 4 different moons and then one major planet. So I'm wanting to go to Lorville, so let's double click on Hurston to make sure that it's selected. And now we've got to zoom all the way into Hurston, and now we've got to decipher every point of interest that is on Hurston to know what the heck, where it is that we're even wanting to go. And then, oh, there it is. There's Lorville amongst this other mess of stuff, and it's just really challenging, very difficult to navigate. Now, if you're experienced with Star Citizen, you'll know where Lorville is, and usually the major landing zones are indicated by this big icon here, the main cities of each planet. So let's just click on Lorville, and that is going to bring up this dotted line that goes all the way from my current position all the way to Lorville. And we could set route, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you see this solid green line randomly popped up, and that is showing our route of where we want to go. So if I zoom all the way out, I have a course plotted from my current position, which is on Microtech, to now Hurston. And you could see how very clunky that was to even find Lorville, and how tedious it was to do. Sometimes the setting route doesn't work half the time, and you have to find all of the different backdoor methods of getting it to work. And so, yeah, thankfully it's working so far. And now we've got our course plotted. So now what? Now we need to spool our quantum drive. And then if we've done it right, the only thing that pops up is Hurston. So if we fly off into space, I gotta reach 10,000 meters. or 10 kilometers before it will let me. And we should be getting close. And about, well, it used to be 10,000. Oh, there we go. Maybe it's 11,000 now. So now I'm able to travel to Hurston. And that's pretty much what the old star map used to look like. So I look forward to showing off from here what the I believe master modes will be next, real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and exit quantum travel, and we'll kind of go over some different things, such as master modes, and then I think there's one other big thing that we're gonna check out as well while we're out in space before we go to our next objective. So I look forward to this next bit, so stay tuned for that. We're going to cover probably master modes next, but I'll let our awesome live Midnight Wolf decide that, so stay tuned for that.
Welcome back live. All right, so that was how the old star map was, and as you can tell, it was very clunky. It was, I mean, it did its job for its time. You know, let's not like say it's too terribly horrible, but a lot of issues with it, a lot of like functionality issues. Things were hard to find at times, and it was just a lengthy process to get where you wanted to go because of the star map sometimes. So there are certain new features that are added to the star map that are going to, I would hope, at least see a major improvement in speed, with. So without further ado, I mean, let's take a look at this thing. I'm excited. So I pull up the map, and immediately I see the entire microtech area. So like, I'm in the microtech area zone. Normally, if you would click that F2 button, it would take you immediately to the entire Stanton system. But now I'm in a local area. I click that button and it brings up the local map. I don't have to, like, if I'm in an area, I don't have to zoom all the way into that particular spot every single time that I open up the map. That is a nice thing. I love that. Great feature there. So let's kind of take a look at what we've got. We've got microtech here, and it gives you some awesome information about microtech even. So it gives you some Galactopedia information. On top of it, you can see coordinates in the lower hand corner of the map, looks like, or maybe that's is that temperature? It's either temperature or coordinates of some sort. Let's see. We've got a search function, which we will get to here in a little bit. We got toggle selected panel info. So if you don't want to see all that information, if you don't want to know information about microtech, you can click the little toggle button, and it will this little panel goes away. Toggle marker list. So if I created markers, I guess this is where that goes. Okay. So now I have this, let's see, move view to selected location. So if I click here, if I say move view to selected location, that zooms in on that particular moon. Okay. So I did try to zoom in, and it takes me to my ship's map. So that's a weird bug there. But it's probably because I'm not in that area, and they probably don't have a map for it yet. Because I know not all of Star Citizen is mapped out. But let's take a look at the ship map. Like, this is very detailed. I could see that I've got 4 weapons. I've got a bunch of different like doors that I can interact with, where my components are located. Very interesting. Okay, I like it. I guess this, if I had objectives, this is where the objectives would show up, which is nice. Like it. But let's like zoom out, and that brings us to Microtech. Now they're going to probably work on more transitioning periods in terms of going from the ship to the grander scale. But still, I mean, let's just zoom out real quick. Now I can see the entirety of Stanton. So that's cool. Now let's say I need to get to Port Tressler. I don't know where that's at as a new player, for example. Instead of having to zoom all the way into Microtech or double clicking Microtech, which is available, and then zooming into it, and then, oh, there's Port Tressler. Let's go to my current location. Let's see, what is the button to actually go to my location? Move view to. Okay, so that does that. I'm still learning this as we go, by the way. So I will figure this out. I guess if I clicked on my icon. Trying to figure this out. I thought there was a way you could zoom in. I thought there was a button you clicked to zoom in on you. Oh, maybe it's this? No. Oh well, that's fine. I'll definitely figure all that out. But let's say I am zoomed in on my ship and I want to know how to get to Port Tressler. So rather than zooming all the way out and doing what I did earlier, I can go up to this little search guy, type in Port Tressler, if I'm doing it right. Tressler. There we go. Boom. Click on it, and now the map goes immediately to Port Tressler. And now if I click on it, let's see. Uh-oh. Not a valid target. There we go. Oh. So there it is, a little buggy. But that's okay. I was able to find Port Tressler at a much faster pace. And now it gives me some pretty solid information that was kind of hard to read. It used to be on this side of the screen. But in terms of quantum travel, your distances, and how long it should take you, I think. 8 seconds to get to Port Tressler. And how much gas? Let's see. 3749. I guess that's how much quantum fuel it will take. I'll have to definitely do some research on what this information does. But it gives you also some very useful information about that landing zone. Like, does it have hangars, pads, vehicle services, docking, clinic, loading dock, commodity trading? I can buy armor there. I can get clothing and food. So right there is an amazing functionality in of itself, because there are times when it's like, oh, I should go to a refinery, but I don't know what Lagrange points have a refinery. Now I can actually like go and search for a Lagrange point and see if it has a refinery. Let's just type in refinery, see if it brings up a bunch of stuff. Cancel. So let's cancel that. Let's see. Refinery. I don't know if this works, but we'll find out. So you can't look up specific like things, but I can type in let's see, what's a facility? Let's see. Okay, so in order to get to the different Lagrange points, let's see. I can click on that and it will give me information if it stays up. It's a little glitchy. There we go. But now I can see that there's a refinery at that location. I can actually, like, without even going there, I can figure that out, that information out. That is a nice feature, being able to see that. You know, they've got armor there, they got weapons there, so that would be a good stop if I need to get just an all-around, you know, geared up, get some food, ammo, armor, that or the other. I will know that if I need any of that stuff or all of those things, I can just go to this Lagrange point and boom, I have access to all that. So it'll take some getting used to in terms of figuring out all the quirks and all the mechanics associated with this map, but I think this is a much better map than what we came from. Just the search feature in of itself is massive. Now let's see if I want to go to Microtech. So I can go click on Microtech. If I zoom in on it. Whoa, not that much. Now I can easily read all this information. Things go away, not over cluttering the screen. This area is a little bit over cluttered, but it's definitely better. Everything is a lot more legible. I like that. That nice improvements there. Okay, so now we want to go to Port Tressler. So let's go ahead and map that route. All right, so we've got that spooled up. Now, right now we are in SCM mode, which basically means I have access to my weapons, my shields, and my there was one other thing. But before we jump to Port Tressler, yes, it is another past video, but it'll kind of go over like the build up or the information before master modes. And oh, I'm being scanned. Nice. So I can't remember all my thoughts that I had in that video, but we'll see the comparison of pre-master modes, and then we'll kind of take a deeper dive into the current state of master modes, and then we'll make our way to Port Chesler, get geared up, and then we're gonna see if we can't go to a distribution center. So that is definitely coming up really soon. So let me go ahead and get that video for you.
All right, now we are back in the cockpit, and you will quickly notice that I am in a normal mode. There's no master modes currently in 3.22, and I believe, I don't know what the new HUD system is going to be like for ships. I can't remember, but at least in the current HUD version, I know if you do the Arena Commander test flight for a master modes, it usually pops up around here, right next to velocity, and that will let you know where or what mode you're in. So if you're in navigation mode, or whatever the default mode is, or it's kind of like a combat mode. I've totally forgotten what it's called, but you have navigation mode and that other mode. And so right now, like, I can shoot my guns, but I can at the same time go into quantum mode and spool up my quantum drive and then head in that direction. I could still shoot at the same time. Also, my shields are fully operational. Where are my shields? I guess I need to bring that up here. Shields. See, my shields are fully powered. So, excuse me. So yeah, like, everything is ready to go. Full power, you know, shields, full power weapons, and yeah, it's all handled all in one continuous mode. So this is what the old system is like, but now we're going to kind of take a look at what master modes is going to entail and see what that is going to look like, how we navigate, how we change this to combat mode, excuse me, and then we will move on to the next thing. So thank you, and see y'all in the future.
All right. Thank you, past Midnight Wolf. So now we're on to the master mode section. So we're getting close, guys. We are almost to the distribution centers, which is kind of the finale of this entire endeavor. But there's a few more steps we gotta get through before we get to that point, and one of those is master modes. And I'm not really going to demonstrate the dogfighting yet. We will get to that later on, whenever, especially when, like, after the distribution centers. Then I might do a couple more missions, one maybe a dogfight mission, and this, that, or the other, and that will be kind of where we actually kind of get a feel for the combat with master modes enabled and all of that. But as you can see, we're in SEM mode, so that allows us to be able to fire our weapons, you know, just like we were able to in the normal mode that was in 3.22. But now the changes to that are, let's see, let me get my MFDs kind of set up properly. I'm gonna want to see my shields. That's not my shields. Shields. So this is the shields screen, and let's just, before we go into nav mode, let's go ahead and just see what our top speed is real quick. So I am able to boost Looks like our max speed. I guess if I'm reading that right, is about 375 roughly. So that's what our speeds are if we're boosting. But if we just want to fly, looks like our max speed is 203 in a straight line. So that's how fast we'd be flying. If we kind of do some turning, looks like we drop pretty far down to about 70. Kilometers per hour, I believe, is the measurement. I could be wrong. And now I'll go ahead and switch over to nav mode, and we'll kind of get a comparison of our speed and look at what all are the effects of the ship, such as the shields, and whether or not we could fire our weapons. And so yeah, let's just see what that looks like. So I think it's if you hold B. So that brings up nav mode, and there's a little cooldown timer there to switch over to it. And then once that cooldown timer is done, we can actually quantum travel. But let's see what our maximum speed is in nav mode. So we can fly pretty fast actually in nav mode. I'm actually like surprised. I thought that was going to be a big major change, but it actually flies pretty fast if you're in nav mode. We're over 1,000 kilometers. And that's without boosting. Oh, I guess boosting doesn't do anything when you're already at max speed. Okay. So in nav mode, looks like, at least for now, the Spirit can go up to over 1,000 kilometers per hour. So that's good. I feel like they've made it faster than what they originally were going for, which if that's the case, then maybe Avenger 1 got his wish on this one. But that's an interesting thing, or maybe that's what the speeds were going to be all along. I don't really know, honestly, but that's a big difference, going from like a little over 200 kilometers per hour to now we can go up to 1,000 based on which mode we're in. That's pretty massive. Another big thing to notice is look at our shields. Our shields are completely powered down. We don't have access to our shields. Those are the main changes. And then of course, if I push the firing buttons, I'm not able to fire my weapons. So that's, I mean, Master Modes is doing exactly what they said it was gonna do. So all right, cool. I mean, that's good. Let's see how long it takes for the shields to kind of spool back up once we switch over. Okay, the shields went up to 100% relatively fast. I mean, that wasn't crazy fast, but it went fast enough to where if you are in a combat situation, you're not going to be totally vulnerable like a lot of people were thinking. And so I don't know, maybe these, obviously Master Modes is not finalized just yet, so a lot of that is subject to change in the subsequent patches, especially as they fine-tune different ships and find a specific role for each individual ship. I'm sure they will have differences in how they operate, but that's good information to know in regards to the effects that Master Modes has on the ship. at least when you're flying around and this, that, or the other. Disconnected comrade. Oh, that's a new alert. Looks nice. It actually caught my attention that time. Usually, like, the old alert system was so hard to read sometimes, and I would just ignore it. But that actually got my attention. And yeah, so that's basically the non-combat side of master modes. But we'll definitely do some combat later on, after we get to the distribution centers. But the distribution is kind of like the main finale, I guess, of the main part of this whole stream. So once we get to that, then we can kind of freestyle and just kind of go our merry way and do different activities, this, that, or the other. But anyways, I'm rambling on. Let's get to Port Tressler. Wow, I am like slurring my words. Let's get to Port Tressler and let's get geared up, get some ammo, get some equipment that we can utilize at a distribution center. I'm not 100% certain how the distribution centers work in regards to I lost it. In regards to the missions, like, am I going to be able to just find a distribution center really easily, or do I still have to build up my reputation, or how is that going to work? So it'll be interesting to see what that all entails. But without further ado, let's go ahead and make our way to Port Tressler. And another change that I noticed earlier with the master mode quantum travel is, instead of holding B to engage engage the quantum drive, now you just push the left mouse button. Now there's a funny visual artifact there I've noticed. That'll get fixed in probably a point patch. But yeah, now that was like, I like the new UI with everything in terms of the quantum travel. Very cool. I guess I probably should stay in nav mode when I'm approaching Tressler. It also feels like it spat me out really far away. Maybe okay, that makes more sense. And then now I can get much closer. Wow. And we haven't even opened up the mobi-glass yet. Like, once we did the distribution center, like, we're gonna be probably go through the mobi-glass real quick. And because that's one thing that I did forget to cover. So, like, especially once I get the gear and all that, I'm gonna open up the mobi-glass so we can see the different different changes to the mobi-glass, and then of course from there we'll be able to accept the mission to go to the distribution center. All right, I think it's left alt in to request land.
Thank you. There
we go.
Please visit again.
So it looks like the landing icon, well, I guess I can read the hangar 4 part, but the little waypoint marker for it is a little bit hard to see. Like, it's a bluish color, and then it's like behind a grayish, gray textured wall, so it's kind of a little bit difficult to read, but that's just a nitpick. It's been a while since I've had to land in using mouse and keyboard.
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Complete.
Let's see. I need to kill the engines. right, cool. Click. I love it. Nice and smooth. There was like no latency there. Love it. And now I have the map. I'm the map. Wonder what the claim times are.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
I'm curious if those have changed. Oh, I can't claim anything yet because I haven't delivered anything yet. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, let me just go ahead and request delivery for everything. Port Tressler is kind of my main base of operations for now, just because it's easy to get in and get out, and I like Microtech. Microtech is like my favorite area to hang out at. But while I'm thinking about it, I've always been told that it's good to go ahead and have all your in-game purchased ships delivered at or like delivered to a station or location in general, because it increases your chances of them carrying over from patch to patch, depending on the wipe
to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
that they do.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
And so it just increases your chances of your ships coming back. Door reference.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle.
Yay. So on the map we can see external transit. Interesting. I might would change the name of that. That could get a little confusing as to what external transit means, but just a nitpick there once again. A nice another look at the new HUD systems there of being able to purchase different things. Speaking of which, I definitely need to get hydrated. Let's just throw that in there. Hey, I'm able to actually drink. And now I don't think I drank Windex, but close enough. Cool. The map is easy to read. I love it, love it, love it. While I'm here, I guess I should set my spawn as well. That's important.
All staff until further notice. No one go into lab 2.
Ah, yes. The terminals should be able to handle your needs.
All right. Oh, where am I going? There's so many changes. I can't even find the same route that I've done for so many months. Let's see, why did I come to the cargo center? I didn't mean to come here. All right, so we need some gear. A little bit of stutters. I need P4 ammo. So personal weapons.
Welcome to the store. The terminal over there has a few more items than what's on display.
Okay.
I think you're going
Category.
to be happy with that.
I need a backpack. Backpack. Yeah. I need to stop with these Dory reference. I'm sorry. I gotta be careful on my AUEC. I got bad spending habits.
Nice choice.
I think that's everything that I need, actually. I've already got some med pens. But you know what? I don't think I transferred a whole lot of med pens with,
Nice choice.
since I didn't have a backpack. I'll purchase 15. Okay. Let's go ahead and quickly get ourselves a backpack on. Get our ammo. Alright, cool. I mean, that's really all I needed to do to get really prepared for this distribution center thing. Okay, that's a decent placement for the gear storage at Tressler. Right where right after you buy some gear, then you have access to it, so that's nice. I gotta break that habit of holding F on everything. All right. Now, so right before we get to the distribution centers, I am going to go ahead and boot up the Mobi-Glass. So let's take a look at it. Okay. So we have a screen that shows our active missions, notifications, our law, systems. What does this button do? Oh, it takes you right there. So it's just another little widget to get you where you need to go. Hey, that's pretty cool. So if I needed to know my crime status, I guess, reputation, I can click that. Okay. Ordnances, ballistics, 4 and 4. That tells me information about my ship. This is my status. Everything is 100%. We got a good heart rate, body temperature, health is 100. We got plenty of oxygen, and my drug level is 0. We're in good shape, guys. We've got gravity. That is actually cool. I don't know if it's useful yet or if it actually works, but that's actually kind of neat that it tells you how much gravity is on a planet, or that's like a future use. We've got atmosphere, safe atmosphere. That's cool. Breathable atmosphere. Pressure. That's what that was earlier. So pressure is something that we'll be able to monitor. External temperature, so that your environment, and then radiation. So what does this button do? Oh, okay, so this is another way to get to your health. Okay. And then this one, I guess, takes me... Oh! That's cool. So if I have my ships out and about, I can click on this and it will give me some information about the ship. Like how much fuel it has and how much ammunition. That's pretty cool. I like it. And then notifications, that will take me to my message board. where I can learn information about random stuff. All right, I like it. The home screen is actually like way more functional now. I think I have more of a use to getting here. AUEC is kind of in a weird spot. It's not bad. Not bad. But I did have to kind of look for it just then. But it's not terrible. I would rather have all this other stuff than needing to know what my wallet looks like. Like, that's fine. Health. Let's kind of take a closer look at health screen. So it kind of honestly gives me a lot of the information. It probably, like the hydration and hunger and all of that, that probably is information that you're going to find easily on this screen compared to the home screen, because this doesn't really give you that specific of information. But the health screen definitely gives us that kind of our current status. And I'm sure if I had injuries, it would probably give me more information about, yeah, like different effects and whatnot and drugs. So pretty good, solid. Comms, I don't think they've changed comms yet. It looks exactly the same, so nothing's changed in comms yet. Contracts. So this is the new contract manager. I love the drop downs. That's really neat. Verified, unverified. So that's how you know it's illegal stuff. Mark all as red. Interesting. I don't know. That could get interesting. I don't know what that all entails. But while we're here, well, let's go ahead and accept the call to arms. See what that looks like. Accept. So now we have that accepted in our accepted tab. We've got a histories tab. Overdrive initiative. I've got my reward for that. I can create a beacon. So a lot of the same functionalities there in regards to the contract manager, but it is a nice sleek look now. It's definitely different. Real quick before we move on, and we'll get to the distribution center part soon. I actually want to see if I can see something that says anything about a distribution center. Let's check delivery maybe. Unified distribution management, ready to contribute. Package Point Wayne emergency shelter. So that's not a distribution center mission. Bounty hunter. It's probably either going to be in bounty hunter or the mercenary tab. If I had to guess. And it may not even be available. I may just have to go fly to one and see what happens. Oh. We're gonna have to do this one later. We might actually see our first Copian, and that's like, I've seen the Copians in the ISCs and Star Citizen Live stuff, but it'll be interesting and fascinating to actually see them in the game. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything about distribution centers. I might still be able to go to one, I hope, relatively easily. I might go ahead and accept this one real quick though, because I'm very interested in seeing our first animals. So let's read this real quick before we go finish the Moby Glass real quick. About the job, Microtech Protection Services needs a professional to bring the number of Copian in the wild back to within acceptable parameters. Their population is increasing too quickly, and culling some of their numbers will help ensure the situation doesn't spiral out of control. It's kind of funny. They just came into existence and they're already rapidly spreading. Responsibilities: provide own transportation, locate the Copian on Microtech, use force as necessary to eliminate the Copian. Minimum qualifications: 1 year of relevant mercenary and or security experience. Okay, access to combat equipment available for immediate deployment, and referred qualifications: experience with extermination. I don't have any experience with extermination, at least not yet. For more information on the animals in question, refer to the guide to state and wildlife in your journal. Okay, cool, I like it. Where is that in my journal? That's the UEA Microtech Class A substance misdemeanor. Don't need to know about that. Prohibited goods. So that's not giving me any kind of information in regards to that. So maybe they don't have that information in just yet. Or unless it's here in the UEE jurisdiction. Nope, nothing. That's it. Okay. So I guess they don't have that journal entry in just yet, or at least not for me, but we will definitely accept that mission if it's still available. Mercenary Copian, accept offer. We will definitely check that out soon, but I need to figure out a good way of getting to the distribution center. Astor's Clearing. Is that one of the distribution centers now? Because, or is it near that? Let's take a look at the fancy handy dandy. Oh, the new map. Zone 2, Zone 3. Okay. That's cool. Let's do distribution center, Covalex. There's one in Hurston. Okay, so that one is the one that's nearby. So, all right, yeah, let's just go to that. And then after we hit up the distribution center, we'll go and see if we can't hunt our first Copian. But I definitely want to check this place out. I don't know if this is a neutral place and how you would find that information out. That belong to the vast Covalex shipping and key stop in getting your cargo safely. Okay, so distribution center near Harper's Point. Got it. Okay. What hangar am I at? I don't know what hangar I'm supposed to go to.
Welcome to the ASOC Vehicle Retrieval System.
It is at hangar 4, of course. Oh, Astor's Clearing is where the Copians are? Okay, cool. Big stutter there. Man, I can't imagine the improved frame rates when I'm not streaming. Must be crazy good. All right. Oh, wait, before I leave here, I need to make sure I have everything. All right, so I got my med pens, got all my ammo. I think we're good to go. And route. Oh, so nice. Oh, that's so nice. I love it.
Crusader Industries, a journey breathtaking. Systems
You are
on.
clear to launch.
Launch complete.
Okay, before I do take off and head that way, I am going to play the last pre-recorded clip. That way, you guys, because it's gonna be a lengthy one. This one is actually showcasing an underground facility, and I explain why that is the comparison, right? But that one is a much lengthier video, so I wanted to go ahead and get that started while we're on our way. And then before I actually arrive to the distribution center, I will actually have that ready for you guys. So without further ado, here is the final pre-recorded clip that we're going to show today, and then we'll start to actually play the game.
All right, so the next thing that I wanted to compare, and this might be the last thing that I compare, and then we'll kind of just go off into some fun gameplay of using all the new systems together to really enjoy what 3.23 has to offer. But the last thing that I wanted to compare was distribution centers, and it's kind of a difficult topic to compare because I mean we're literally going from no distribution centers to distribution centers, but I think the best way to kind of showcase that comparison is where distribution centers kind of originated from. So at least a year or two ago, they wanted to update the old underground facilities to make them a much bigger entity, a much bigger facility to engage in, and it'd be kind of like this dungeon crawl type situation. And I think their vision for it is still the same, to eventually add more underground traversal and all that with those facilities, but they kind of rebranded them sometime like last year to what they are calling distribution centers. So I figured I would go ahead and try to do an old underground mission real quick to kind of show where it came from and where it's going. And so we're going to definitely take a look at those old underground facilities, and then whenever future Wolf goes in and explores a distribution center, I hope you guys are going to be blown away at the change in gameplay. So that is at least the hope. So without further ado, let's go ahead and spool up a mission. Let me bring up my